Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fan Experience TV. Boy, oh boy, sports world seems to be getting back to normal. With some normalcy comes some, some injuries, some controversy, trades, everything in between all of that stuff. But first, my name is Mike Katos for all of you first-time viewers, and alongside me is my co-host, Rick Molina. Rick, baseball's back, and, everything seems to be just, firing on all cylinders right now.
Oh, man.
Across the sports world.
Yeah, baseball's back. NFL's got trades. You just had a national champion crowned in college basketball. So much going on. And, as usual, the Mets are back at it with obviously blowing leads and you
gotta let me handle that.
And the manager not knowing what's going on. Nothing. It wouldn't be the Mets without some controversy. But yeah, so much going on, Mike. Where do we want to begin? We can go Jets. We can go the Mets. We can talk a little NCAA. But I think where we start is the MLB. It was a good opening day weekend. Obviously, the Rangers with their event, 40,000 people there. Pretty nuts. You had the Orioles sweeping the Red Sox, and the Red Sox going 0-3, so that was pretty entertaining. But the story here in New York is your boy Jacob deGrom, the Cy Young Award-winning, missile-throwing, future Hall of Famer, wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling, as Ric Flair would say. Last night, going into the seventh inning, and Luis Rojas says, "You know what? We're just going to pull you because this game doesn't really matter." And the Met bullpen implodes and they lose. And the talk of the town is, why do you pull a guy like that? Mike, I don't get it. We were going over the stats before we came on. This guy's dealing. Why do you pull a guy like that? It just doesn't make any sense of what the Mets are doing.
Well, he was on the 10 days, and they wanted to be a little bit more cautious because they want him to pitch on Saturday at Citi Field.
Yeah.
And yes, the goal is to win games, any game that you can. But it is a long season. You don't want to risk injury. Yes, he was wheeling, he was dealing. But they pulled him in after the sixth, and they put in Miguel Castro. Miguel Castro pitched a perfect inning. And if they pulled deGrom an inning later, guess who was coming in the eighth? It was going to be Trevor May anyway. He was going to be the eighth inning pitcher anyway, and he imploded. So I don't think that extra inning really is what killed them because Trevor May, he's still what?
And one of the most unbelievable plays I just saw Pete Alonso make at first base. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. What play.
So he caught the ball? I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me right now.
No.
So that's good. He caught the ball.
Look, I get what you're saying, but the guy's dealing, man. 77
but this is
pitches.
Game 1.
He put down 9 in a row. 9 in a row. You leave.
Listen.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right, I'm listening. All ears, my friend.
Jacob deGrom has gotten screwed time and time again by the bullpen.
Again last night. But go ahead. Okay.
But Jacob deGrom, the Mets scored 2 runs in the 6 innings that Jacob deGrom pitched.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jacob deGrom accounted for one of those runs batted in. Okay. When Jacob deGrom has to account for half the runs that you score and 2 of the 7 hits that you're getting, that's the problem. It's not, yes, the bullpen, you never want to see the bullpen give up a lead, but you have to get a little bit more. You had your ace on the mound against their number 4.
Yeah.
There is no excuse as to why you're only scoring 2 runs against their 4th pitcher. And, Jacob deGrom is just lights out, as always. And you got Jacob deGrom is getting screwed to the point where since 2018, in 77 of his last starts, the Mets record, Jacob deGrom's ERA is 2.07 in the last 77 games. Wow. And the Mets record as a whole is 36-41. That's preposterous. Like, that is disgusting. Jacob deGrom never gets run support. And I get it. Ace versus ace, you're not really going to get high-scoring games. But this time you were going up against their fourth pitcher. Like, if you're taking that extra 3 days because you didn't start on opening day like everyone else, and they have already went to the back of their rotation. Granted, the Phillies are hot. They went 3-0. They went 3-0 against the Braves. The Braves can't get out of their own way either. But we'll get into that. But Jacob deGrom needs run support, and I mean, it was nice to see Lindor get a hit last night, and Alonso, and they were fighting in the bottom of the ninth, which was good to see. You know, they did make it interesting with 2 outs, and Alonso gave one a ride. You know, but the wind was going crazy and blowing in like crazy last night, and it just got to the warning track, and it could have been 6-5. You know, with a little extra push there. Right up against the wall too. So I thought it had a shot, but Harper looked like he had it. Yeah. You know, they need to score more runs. It's not a matter of pulling Jacob deGrom. It's a matter of, like, those bats need to wake up, and they have a stacked lineup, but they have to act like it.
No, listen, we're in total agreement there. And I give a shout out to my friend Matan Franco, who pointed it out, that the Mets have a stud team. They got a stud team, a stud lineup, pitching galore. That's not a team you want to see in the playoffs. But the issue is their bullpen. And if you got deGrom that's dealing the way he was last night, 77 pitches, 6 innings, he didn't even look like he was stressing out there, Mike. It looked like he was playing pitch and catch. It was just he was just dealing last night. Like I said, styling and profiling, limousine riding.
A few over 100, and that's not really his forte. No, like he's throwing hard. Heat.
And Luis Rojas, and again, this is where analytics and all the data guys and all these geeks that don't play ball decide, you know what? This is what the numbers show, third thigh to the lineup, spin rotation, blah, blah, blah. But you have to trust the eye test at some point. Like, you got to trust your eyes and what you're seeing. Like, your eyes are telling you, yo, he's dealing. He's not stressing out. I'm going to leave him out there. And if they would have let him out there 2 more innings, I think the Mets win that game last night. But this is sort of a lesson for the Mets moving forward. I mean, Luis Rojas has got to be able to trust what he sees. And if he's seen a pitcher that's not under duress, that's not stressed, wasn't laboring, man, ride it for another inning or so, inning and a half or so. They weren't going to hit him. They were not going to hit him in the 7th inning. They just weren't going to hit him. You know, and if he gave up a single or something like that, all right, then you make the move. But there was just a mistake, and it cost the Mets a game last night that they shouldn't have lost, quite frankly. They should have won that game. He should have never got to that point. And now tonight they're up 2-1 in another close game. I think their bats are going to come alive as it gets warmer. I think right now it's just the first few games of the season. And, you know, like I said, as I was talking today to one of my colleagues, I mean, he was calling Mets-Dodgers National League Championship Series. I was like, what about the Padres? And let's get into that a little bit, because Tatis Jr. hurt his shoulder. And now you got to wonder, I mean, the way he swings so violently, is he going to be able to last the season and get to a playoffs? I mean, that's, if I'm the Padres, I'm worried about that. I mean, they have a stacked team. They're loaded out there with Machado and Tatis Jr., Blake Snell. But they got to stay healthy, man. And that's my concern with the Padres moving forward. If I'm Tatis, I'm 22 years old, I would get the surgery done, because that's a torn labrum, man. But, let's just see what they decide to do out there.
Yeah, that could, severely impact everything going forward.
Yeah, I mean, he's
like you said, they are stacked. I wouldn't count them out without them. But of course, I think that they definitely can make a run for it. And hey, I would love to see Mets Dodgers NLCS. Don't get me wrong, but
replay of the 88 NLCS.
They're gonna need to figure it out quickly. But let's not forget also with that game last night, there was a very costly error. At the plate, that caused 3 unearned runs to come across. I mean, it's obviously sucks to see errors like that late in ball games.
They should never happen, but
it's just there was a lot of things, and I don't think pulling deGrom fixes all the problems, or keeping deGrom in fixes all the problems that occurred last night. So it's a team loss. You win as a team and you lose as a team. So they have to figure out how to win as a team efficiently, and how to sit there and get more men on base and drive more men in. And in that sixth inning or whatever it was, they could have scored a couple more runs, but they just they left them hanging, kind of like your boy Judge was doing for a few days. But he finally broke out of it yesterday.
He finally broke out of it yesterday with a big hit.
You could take that one.
The Yankees finally, and again, it was Baltimore, it was the Orioles, but still, the Yankees, needed that win after what happened against the Blue Jays this weekend. But listen, look, I'm not worried about the Yankees. I think they're going to be just fine. I mean, they won 7-0 last night, and how the Orioles swept the Red Sox, I have no idea.
Well, the Red Sox are
they're oh my God, they're bad, man. I mean, they're down 3-1 tonight.
The bad news bear this year.
Yeah. I mean, but look, they let Mookie Betts go. I mean, it's just been a disaster.
They're looking to, just rebuild. That's it.
Exactly, 100%. But let's see. Stanton with his first home run last night. So he finally got on board. Judge homer to right, 340-foot monster shot. These guys were just teeing off, man. I mean, they were like, all right, let's see who can hit it farther. It was like batting practice last night. But the Yankees, listen, they're the Yankees. They're off to a slow start. I mean, after that Blue Jay series, I was like, blow up the team. It's over. They can't pitch. Because I'm an emotional Yankee fan and I overreact to everything. But look, like the Mets, they'll settle in. I think the Yankees will be okay. As long as we can give Garrett Cole some help, in terms of the starting rotation, I think we'll be all right. Listen, the Yankees are the Yankees. They're going to come out. They're going to win 95 games this year. They're going to get off to a slow start a little bit. Those bats are going to wake up eventually. They just traded for Odor from the
Rougned Odor from the Rangers.
Now, he is the guy who's infamously known for punching. Bautista, right?
Yeah, Bautista. Yeah,
Bautista sliding into second and gets hit with a right by Odor, and he lives in infamy for that. So, so it's as a Yankee highlight plays right there. But look, the Yankees are making moves. They're trying to stay relevant here, and so far, they're what are they? What are they, 2-2? What are they, 3-3 or something?
They're 2-2.
They're 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-2. And right now they're, going into the bottom of the eighth, up 4-0 against the Orioles. So 3 outs away from a 3-2 over 500 record.
Right.
But I mentioned it before. The Mets obviously did not play their first opening series because the Nationals had 3 COVID positive players and a couple that were contact tracing and quarantining because of that. So the Nationals have like half their team on their opening game of the season tonight. And the Braves rolling in, they didn't play their series opener last night because of the COVID issues. So the Braves and Nationals kicked off today, and they'll have a doubleheader tomorrow. But the Braves got swept by the Phillies in the opening series of the season for them, and they lost to half a Nationals team today, 6-5. And the Braves obviously are the kings of the NL East. Everyone pretty much painted them as as the division winners for the most part, and they can't get out of their own way right now. 0-4.
No, absolutely.
And they need to shape up their, So what's going on with them? Like, what's it been? Pitching, hitting?
I think it's a little bit of everything, man. They're 0-4. I mean, it's just they just lost the Nationals 6-5 today. A lot going on in the state of Georgia too. Not sure if that's playing a role in it, but
but they haven't even been there yet.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But.
They just acquired Arcia in the trade with the Brewers. When was this? When did this take place? Recently. It's just listen. I think for a lot of these teams, they're just getting off to a start here. But the Braves are 0-4, man. But look, like I think like the Mets and like all these other teams, I think they're eventually going to settle in and get into a little bit of a rhythm here. And then hopefully they'll get back. I don't know if you saw this last night, but apparently the Astros are out in LA and they get introduced and they get booed. And then during the middle of the game, somebody throws an inflatable garbage can out there.
No, I didn't see it. No.
It gets better. And then a fan throws an actual garbage can out there and they had to take it off the field. And I think this year, Houston got away with it last year because of COVID. They're not getting away with it this year. They're going to hear it from people. People are going to boo them, call them cheats. But I thought that was just ingenious that somebody came with an inflatable garbage can and just threw it on the field. That was great.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I was about to say, like, where do they find an inflatable garbage can? But I think I've seen them, obviously kick parties and stuff. Of those in nature. But that's funny because obviously the inflatables are always a big hit in in LA anyway. So
exactly, yeah,
it's just always beach balls. But this time,
it's a garbage can.
It's kind of fitting. I mean, it works. Bringing both things into play. I don't know if you saw this any more on MLB.
No, I was just gonna say the Red Sox unveiled a new blue and yellow uniform. Did you see that?
A blue and yellow uniform?
Yeah,
I did not see that.
Yeah, it's a jersey collaboration with Nike.
Red Sox
unveiled the yellow and powder blue uniforms Tuesday. They look absolutely hideous.
What?
That
is disgusting,
right? It looks like a Tour de France shirt or something like that. It looks terrible.
It's to honor Patriots Day weekend.
Okay.
So I guess
I think
it's just a it's just a short-term thing just for Patriots Day weekend.
I see. Okay. As my screen is frozen.
Your screen's frozen?
I think so. Hold on. I can't get back to my original thing here. Give me 1 second here.
No, all good. So it looks like wear on April 17th and April 18th when they play the Chicago White Sox. And that's when they will wear the blue and yellow.
There we go. Back. I mean, listen,
your face is frozen. Okay, now you're good.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, look, if they want to collaborate with Nike and do all these kind of things, God bless them. But God, that's ugly.
It's definitely not appealing. it's not appealing, but it's for a good cause. So let's call it what it is. It's only for 2 days.
Okay.
And, we'll be all good.
Aaron Judge just hit a bomb, so that's 7-0 Yankees.
3-run bomb?
3-run bomb. Yep.
Wow.
So, listen, the Yankees aren't going to play the Orioles forever, but
off to a good start. Never do.
Yeah,
you never do, right? It's still saying 4-0 on mine, but
well, let's give a shout out to the Baylor Bears who beat Gonzaga last night, 86-70. That game was over in the first 6 minutes of the first half.
Was just it was a rout.
Yeah,
after all was said and done, I mean, 31-0 for Gonzaga, and they could not close the deal.
No, and I think part of it is they ran.
It wasn't even close. I mean, it wasn't. They just the first half was 47-37, and then they lost the second half too. And I mean, it was a little closer, but it was too steep of a deficit to come back from.
Yeah,
especially if you're talking NCAA national championship to come back 10 plus to come on top. It was a tough task in that second quarter.
I mean, Baylor was just hitting threes. They were the tougher team. They were aggressive. And within the first 10 minutes of the game, that thing was over. I mean, they were up, 6, and they were up like 10. You're right. They were up at 1 point, 4, 18?
I mean, they were hitting all their threes.
Yeah.
They were hitting their threes. Gonzaga wasn't hitting nothing.
Yeah, and they couldn't stop them. That was the game right there.
You know, I mean, you had Jalen Suggs, a couple nights before hitting one from damn near midcourt, but last night they couldn't. They couldn't hit anything.
Wow.
So I mean, they had their moment on that game, but they came out flat, completely flat on last night, and it was just over before it even started.
Yeah. So kudos to them, and now let's get into the major story that broke yesterday in the NFL. The news, obviously, that our former beloved franchise quarterback, Sam Darnold, traded to the Carolina Panthers for a 6th-round pick in 2021, a 2nd-rounder in 2022, and a 4th in 2022 as well. Look, I love Sam while he was here. I was excited when they drafted him. I was the idiot at Hooters who said they're going to win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold 4 years. I bet all my friends, my friend Dave, my friend Dwight, my friend Ben, $20 each that he would do it. So I owe a couple of bucks out there. But look, it didn't work here. McCagnon never surrounded him with any players. Then Adam Gase came in, and it was just a disaster. Then they were tanking. And I think the Jets did the right thing. It's a fresh start. You get the new contract, the new rookie deal. You're going to draft Zach Wilson. So from all accounts that you hear from everybody, Chris Sims and Mike Florio and all these people, all these so-called experts, he's going to be a stud. They're saying Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. So, look, I'm all for it. I hope Sam does well. He's going to go into a new situation, right? He's got CMC, Christian McCaffrey over there, Matt Rule, Joe Brady. He's got Robbie Anderson. Who's the other receiver that they have over there?
Samuel Moore.
Yeah.
So
he's got
tight end. I can't picture the tight end.
So he's got
it's not Olsen anymore.
No, it's not over. He retired. But he's going to have some weapons.
Else.
He's going to have better coaching. He's going to have weapons over there. He's 23. I mean, if he can't do it there, then he's never going to do it in the league. So, good luck to him. But I think the Jets did the right move. I'm excited for Zach Wilson. And I'm excited for this new offense and see what we can do. Your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a little bit more clarity on where they're going for the draft, and pretty much controlling their own destiny on that. And it looks like it's going to be Zach Wilson. I mean, it's pretty much foolproof that that's going to be the pick that they go with, especially generating some draft capital for Darnold. I think they could have probably snuck out a little bit more, but it's a nice return, and he definitely has a chance. Sam Darnold has a chance to actually do something and thrive a little bit, with that coaching staff and with the supporting key players in that offense. I mean, it's night and day from what he was given in New York.
100%.
I mean, let's just be real. I mean, you got one of the best running backs in the game in Christian McCaffrey. And you got, an offensive line that, has given this guy, numerous opportunities, meaning, Christian McCaffrey and even Bridgewater, they had a nice little season last year. They don't think that Bridgewater is 100% the answer for them. We will see if Bridgewater is going to get traded. Obviously there's talk both ways. Could be a competition, but I don't think you make that trade if you're not going to be starting Sam Darnold. You're not going to trade 3 draft picks. Sam Darnold's going to be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers this year, and he's going to be reunited with his former wideout, as one of his favorite wideouts, and Mr. Robbie Anderson. Go big or go home. Robbie Anderson, he would always, throw those bombs. Deep threat. He had that 99-yard, was it 99 or 98?
Yeah,
one
99.
Of those 99-yard touchdown to him a couple of years ago. They had a nice little rapport. They had a nice little chemistry, and I'm putting it on record.
Here we go.
This year.
Record it. Put it down.
Bold prediction. 25 minutes into episode, what are we, 72? Whatever.
72, yeah.
And Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson will both have career years this year in Carolina.
Can you say that again? Say it again.
Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson will both have career years in Carolina.
Wow. All right.
the 2021 season. I mean, kind of cheating because there is an extra game, but but nobody needs to know that except I said it live and in color to everybody. But either way, it still counts, right?
Correct.
If that's the season, that's the season, right? But that is going to be interesting. Let's talk about that for a second, Mike.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to do about all these records? Like how it's an interesting concept, and they're obviously going to try and get that 18th game in there too at some point within the next few years. Like the owners want it, but the owners are just money hungry at this point. It's just the NFL is just a cash cow, and they just want to keep.
Listen. They just signed a contract, right? How much was the contract that they signed right now? The TV contract.
The TV deal? Yeah. It was what was it? 110 billion for 11 years?
Yeah. Billion.
Yeah.
I mean,
so $10 billion a year. Yeah. No, it's a cash grab. That's all it is.
Yeah. Listen, but the players are getting their piece of that. So here's the thing, right? Did they do anything for the stats when it went from 14 to 16 games? We don't know that, right? Let's assume for the argument's sake that they didn't put any asterisks on.
Well, I think they say like modern error or something like that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, either way, when you're sitting there and you're breaking these records, they're doing it in the context. I mean, obviously all sports change up. Their rules and their schedules and whatnot, but from 16 to 17, it's just weird to go to an odd number.
Yeah, look, I think that there won't be any more 8-8 teams, so that's gone, right?
Well, there will not be.
And the other thing is that I think you're gonna. I think that if you're gonna have that extra game, and football is a different sport than, let's say, baseball or whatever the case is, but if you're gonna have that extra game, it also I think you just leave the stats to the stats. Don't put an asterisk on it.
Mm-hmm.
They are what they are. You can't restart something again. Those are the stats, and that's it. Would have somebody had a couple of more sacks? Maybe you don't know. You don't know if that person gets hurt or not. So I say the stats are the stats. Leave it as is. Maybe you can say this was added after the 17th game, but you're going to start putting asterisks on things. They're not going to do that. Besides, all the records are getting crushed anyway with the rule changes and all that stuff. Doesn't even matter.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a new era of NFL football this year.
We're only 3 weeks away from the draft. Look at that.
Yeah.
We're 3 weeks away from the draft.
Yeah, 3 weeks. What is it? 23 days, right?
23 days, yeah.
23 days. Yeah, I mean, it should be an exciting one.
I can't wait to see it, man. I'm pumped. Those are 3 days. So this is how sick it is for me. I watch every pick from the first round of the draft till Mr. Irrelevant number 2. That's how devoted I am to my team, to the NFL. That's how this is America's favorite sport. That's hope that you're waiting for that 5th round pick to come through to see what he's going to do for the Jets. I mean, or whatever your team is. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, 23 days, and we're also wondering what the Jets are going to do with their 23rd pick, right?
I'm telling you, it's got to be that running back from Clemson. Now, people are saying don't take a running back in the first round. I love that kid, but if you're not going to take him, you got to grab an offensive lineman.
It's late enough. It's late enough.
Yeah,
I think. You can get away with that. You're not picking him in a couple of, in the first in the top 5.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, think about though from back when Darnold and they didn't take Barkley and they took Darnold and look where they're at
now. In all fairness to Sam, Saquon Barkley, he tore his knee up last year, so he didn't play. He's been hurt most of his career. He's only had one really stellar year, and that was his first year. And again, you have to ask yourself: can the guy stay healthy? And if he's going to be able to run in between the tackles, he doesn't run in between tackles. He doesn't like to. So we just gotta. I mean, with Barkley, the jury's still out, man. Jury is still out.
I don't know. I think that he's a wow. I mean, come on. You drafted somebody to get a couple of draft picks back for him in a couple of years. That's really what it works out to be at this very moment.
You drafted him second.
Does it not?
He went second overall. Like you shouldn't be getting hurt, right? You should be durable.
No, of course,
stay on the
injuries
field.
Happen.
I get
Injuries
it, but
happen.
he was the second pick in the draft, man. I mean, he's coming up on his 4th year option. The option's coming up pretty soon if you're going to extend him or you're going to give him a big-time contract. I mean, that's coming up in a year. That's a big decision that the Giants are going to have to make to make a commitment like that to Saquon Barkley. If he gets hurt again this year, then what do you do?
Well, if he gets hurt again, then you have to paint him as just a a fragile player.
Yeah. And do you give him?
I guess no, of course not. No, I mean if you're getting hurt 3 out of 4 years, I mean of course you can't do that in good conscience. Yeah. But if he does not get hurt, then I think the Giants have some weapons this year. I mean they revamped that whole offense, so I'm excited to see how the Giants season plays out this year. I'm just excited, as a whole for the draft in a few weeks and then the season to come and play out.
Yeah. Well, we got the rookie mini camps and then mini camps and then, training camp. And I mean, it's going to be here. I mean,
little normalcy on those.
Yeah.
As well.
I mean, April 6th it's April 6th, like mini camp. I mean, training camp is going to be here in 3 months. I mean, that's how fast it's going to come.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess, we're talking about Houston a little earlier, but, there's 22 cases against Watson now, but we don't want to get into it too much.
No, we don't get into it. 2 women came out. I don't think he's going to play football this year.
I don't think he's going to play football this year either.
He's not playing. I don't think he's playing.
I think that there's too much of a cloud over this right now. Yeah. And look, I mean, the Panthers wanted Watson in the worst way, and all of a sudden a trade for Darnold came into play. Like that right there shows you that there's a good chance that this guy's probably not going to play football again. Well, at least this year until they can sort whatever this is out. I know he's under investigation from the NFL, under investigation from the police. So it's horrible to see, and I really hope that they can get to the bottom of this and find out what's all the details and do everything, according to the letter of the law.
Yeah, I mean it's just
that's all we can hope for.
It's a rough situation, man. And those 2 women, they came out. One read her story out there. I mean, honest to God, I mean, it's just horrific, man. And if he's guilty of doing what they said he did, Jesus Christ. I mean, Deshaun Watson's he's got some issues. And
it came out of nowhere because we didn't see this coming.
No,
we did not see this coming, but
he had pristine image of a really down to earth, cool kid. He's walking off the field. JJ Watts is like, "I'm sorry, we wasted your career" and all that stuff. And then this thing just blew up, and it went from some girl on Instagram to 22 lawsuits. Now it's in the hands of they handed over some of the evidence to the police department. I mean, and more of these stories that come out, and they're graphic and they're horrific. I mean, he's got a lot, and not only he's got to rebuild his public image, man. Even if he gets through all this, who the hell's going to want to sign him?
Yeah,
he's not leaving Houston. Nobody, it's teams don't want to deal with this kind of stuff. There's a lot that you have to deal with on top of, let's say, just Deshaun Watson stuff, like outside groups picketing your games and protesting and this, that, and the other. Owners don't want to deal with that stuff. I mean, it's just a mess.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely, and I really hope they can get to the bottom of it, but it's probably going to take a while. And like you said, he's probably not going to be playing football this year. It's looking more and more likely. They signed a backup there, right? A couple weeks ago. Did they make a trade for somebody? I think
I'm not sure.
But the Mets listened to my little pep talk, so
yeah, they're up 6-1.
6-1. So
the Mets.
All they needed was me. All they needed was my little pep talk. And all is well.
All is well in Metland. On to an interesting story that happened yesterday with ESPN and Paul Pierce. Not to,
No, you got the floor.
So, and this is brought to me today with my good friend Kevin, aka Pio. Shout out to him, who brought this to my attention. That apparently Paul Pierce was fired by ESPN because he was posting racy Instagram live features of exotic dancers in a room with Paul Pierce as he was smoking a joint. And so ESPN took him and Paul Pierce came to an agreement. It's time to go. And they fired him. And I got to say that, I get why ESPN did it. Disney, ABC, that wholesome image. I mean, but the guy was minding his business. It was fully consensual what he was doing. It wasn't like he was doing anything illegal. And they fired him. I mean, listen, I guess ESPN doesn't tolerate that stuff. But, I mean, he could have brought ratings to that show because I don't know if anybody watches it. But,
well, yeah. But when you're working, for a massive network like that, you gotta have like some kind of, employee or, conduct handbook or something along those lines. And I mean, let's be real. You think, especially being a Disney owned company and all of that, you don't think they have some kind of, things in place to their conduct policies like that. Yes. So of course if it was probably in writing and it was probably explicitly in writing, let's just be real. It probably was. And that's all you need, for grounds. So you just, I mean, you're in the public image. You got to just try to, realize what you're doing and what repercussions can come from that. So, I mean, he might get a job for another network or whatever. Let's see what happens because obviously he's a good on-air talent. But yeah, I mean, you just have to – you got to go by the book, and ESPN just did not like the what they saw, and that's it. Sayonara.
And here's the other thing. He wasn't even following COVID protocols, not wearing a mask. I mean, the guy was just out there. When you're working for ESPN and you're doing a show like that.
I don't think that one brings it over the top, though.
No, not at all.
I don't think that was the straw that broke the camel's back. That wasn't the coup de grace,
but I mean, look, man. I mean, you got to know when you're working for ESPN and Disney and the image stuff, you got to be doing. And I think Paul Pierce was out on his outs anyway. I mean, I was reading that he announced that the wrong team won and they had to correct him. So look, I think he's going to be just fine. He's made enough money where he's doing okay. So he doesn't have to worry about that. But geez, I mean, come on, Paul Pierce, a little more situational awareness there.
Yeah. Maybe a tad bit more, awareness. Your Yankees, closed it out 7-2.
7-2. Yep. Your Mets are up 6-1 in the
bottom of the seventh.
A couple innings to go. So let's see if they can close it out. But so far a good night for our locals. Last night the Knicks and the Nets played. Knicks in that game leading, and Kyrie Irving, head case indeed, but the guy can just play tremendous basketball. And I got to be honest with you, man. I know everybody's sold on Julius Randle, and he's had a great year, and he was an all-star. But I am not sold on this guy long term. He turns the ball over too much, and I just feel like the offense is too iso ball. It's back to the Carmelo days. And I want to see more Obi Toppin. He's got this great ability. He's a high flyer, and he runs up and down the floor, and that's what we need. The Knicks need to be a team that pushes the basketball. Transition basketball, fast break basketball, up and down the floor. So they got to get a point guard in this draft coming up. But I'm not, look, I like what Randall did. I think a lot of people love Julius, and his game is expanded. But I think for the Knicks to take it to the next level, I think they got to find pieces in there that, one, can defend, and two, are a more up-pace, up-tempo team that passes the ball, teams that cut, not this sort of iso ball. And, they lost 114-112 last night. But, man, I love Julius, but I just think the Knicks need to really think about whether they want to give him a long-term contract or not.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, James Harden hurt his hamstring. KD, who knows when he's coming back, and Kyrie's just, while he's the head case, he's amazing.
Yeah, it's a mess. And by the way, I looked up. The Houston Texans have Tyrod Taylor and Ryan Finley on their roster.
Jeez.
So I think that Tyrod Taylor was kind of that move as a just in case anything happened.
Here's the Houston Texans don't even have a first round pick in the draft. I mean,
no, because they traded all their draft.
It's crazy.
And
the gift.
How do they have no first round picks, yet they traded DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
They traded him away.
Yeah. JJ Watt, DeAndre Hopkins.
And still can't get, well, JJ Watt was cut, but either way.
They might go 1-15.
1-16.
1-16. Ah. Yes.
Look at you.
Well, listen, it's like daylight savings. I gotta adjust it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. That's a good analogy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good one. Yeah, pretty smart, man.
I'm on point.
Can't do math, but you're pretty smart.
Yeah, exactly. Can't add, but I'm good.
No, it's whatchamacallit. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with Watson, and I'm glad that the Mets are finally swinging the bat a little bit, 6-1. So it's good to see that. What else we have going on? I think we covered most of the basics around the leagues. We talked about the draft, all the MLB stuff.
Yeah.
NBA. Did you watch the Space Jam trailer?
I did not. I have not had a chance to see it yet.
Looks pretty cool.
Looks good.
They got some flashy little jerseys.
Okay.
LeBron James wearing a flashy little Toon Squad jersey. So it's a little different than your Space Jam of the 90s.
Okay.
And there's even a whole breakdown of all the sneakers that are being worn in the trailer.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
So all those sneakerheads out there are going out there on the Twitterverse and wherever else verse and talking about all the different sneaker choices.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. Like, it looks like his son gets sucked into the Toon world, and then he has to play against Don Cheadle's team.
Okay.
And kind of cool, and excited to see it, and hopefully I can bring my little one, and she'll actually sit through it because it's her birthday weekend. So we'll see.
Oh,
we'll see.
I thought about you today. Did you see our boy Tom Brady, who has not responded to my text to come on the show? Tom,
he did not.
He did not. Did you see Tom Brady at the Star Wars? He was at Disney, and he had a lightsaber, and he was against the clone, or what are the stormtroopers?
Stormtroopers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, and I'm like, this
I did
guy,
not, no.
I guess he's a Star Wars guy. He's out there with the lightsaber taking on stormtroopers. He was actually wearing a mask. I mean, all right.
Were the referees, monitoring the whole situation?
I did not
make sure nobody touched him.
Yeah, Darth Vader was not there. Mickey,
no, I said the referees.
Were
there referees?
Yeah. No, there were no refs there. Make sure, but he was out there, and I guess he's a Star Wars fan. I guess I wasn't aware of that. So, yeah, Tom likes going to Disney.
No, all right, he went to Disney because. Do they even say that anymore? Going to Disney World?
They did that. They did. Him and Gronk did it.
They did?
Okay. They did together, yeah.
But that's that's like an after thing, right? They don't do it on live anymore.
No, they did it live right after the game.
Social.
Right
they did?
The game.
I missed it. But they got a shot, to do something this year.
Yeah, let's see if they can stay
again.
Healthy.
But Aaron Rodgers, though, he's hosting Jeopardy this week.
Yes, he hosted Jeopardy, and the guy.
Did you watch any? I did not watch it yet.
I saw the highlight where the guy asked him the question about the field goal. And the guy asked him whose decision was to kick the field goal, and Rodgers goes, "I wish I knew."
Oh,
yeah.
You're supposed to answer it in a question, man. Come on, Rogers.
No, but he was pretty good at it. But he took it in stride. It was
I'm sure he's a charismatic dude.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got all his little championship belt thing, and he's charismatic. So it's fun. I actually I want to watch some of the replays and watch some of the episodes. I have not caught that yet. Have you been catching up on any of Young Rock? I caught up on a couple of them.
I think there's a new episode tonight where he I think he got arrested in the last episode, and in this episode he the greatest scam of college or something like that. So I got to check that out. I saw it on Instagram today. It was pretty cool. But I got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first episode and the second episode were good.
Pretty good.
I think, the next 2 or 3 were like a little shaky. But, I think it's just building up to something that, obviously going more into his like heyday and, him getting into
professional wrestling. Yeah.
WWE, well, WWF at the time.
But
obviously, the rest is history from there. So I'm really just waiting for the build up there.
Yeah. But yes.
All right.
So we touched on everything.
And everybody, our guest was unable to make it. He had an emergency, and that's why we rolled solo today. But thank you very much for joining us. It's it's a pleasure to be here and talk about. I mean, it was just a bunch to talk about with the sports.
Absolutely.
With the sports over the weekend.
As it's 6-2.
6-2. Don't tell me that stuff. Don't tell me that stuff. Man.
Yeah. But anyway, we should have a great show Thursday night. Who do we get on Thursday night?
We have Aaron coming back. He's going to talk to us about his book that is nearing completion, and it's going to be coming to shelves near you very soon. So we will, pretty much get a State of the Union there for Aaron's book, and talk about what he's got going on in the business, and get his take on everything that's going on in the world of sports. Whether it's any sport really. Yeah.
And also talk to Aaron about his stories. He had a lot of stories he wanted to share with us the last time we get into it, but we'll get into it on Thursday night.
Yes, we will definitely do that.
Oh my God! I mean,
what?
I'm sorry.
What?
First and second, 2 outs. Not looking good. And you got who's up? Is it Harper who's up?
You're gonna make me put this game on.
Castro's pitching right now. Who's number 3? Harper's Harper.
No, Harper's 28.
Wait, hold on. Then who's up next? I'll tell you right now. Hold on. No, it's number 3. No, Harper. It's Bryce Harper. That looks like Bryce Harper to me. Yeah. It is Bryce Harper. He's 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts.
It was like 20-something.
No, here we go. You know what? Let's stay live here to see how this plays out, folks.
Oh man,
we're live. We're going live. Let's stay with this. We're gonna stay with it right here.
Oh yeah, he is number 3. Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with it right here as this plays out.
All right, I got it up too.
All right,
I got it up too. All right, let's go. We got blind reacts going on.
If the Mets make a pitching change, we'll call it a night. But let's see. Here we go.
2 outs.
Wow, 0-1. All right. Castro
wow.
wheeling and dealing.
I'm delayed here then.
Castro's wheeling and dealing.
Oh, I'm delayed then, man. Oh,
right.
man.
You know what? You know what? You can turn it off. I'll keep you in the loop here.
No.
Oh, look at the terrible towels out there in Philadelphia at Citizens Park.
Oh, man.
0-2. Castro.
I mean, we're still under an hour, so I guess it's acceptable to stay live and have people join in on my potential misery.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fine.
No, we're good. We're good.
We're good. So it's 0-2.
Come on.
Let's see. Louis Rojas, he's like, what do I do? How about you just leave the guy in? 0-2 right now. Bryce Harper looking like Road Warrior Hawk over here.
Yeah, I'm probably about like 10 seconds behind you, so it kind of sucks.
Did he go? Save. Oh, all right. No.
So 1 and 2?
1 and 2.
My goodness.
You know what's a shame?
I'm like 20 seconds behind you.
You know what's a shame about Major League Baseball is Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, and you never see him play, man, because he plays for the Angels. Like, he's just like –
because the whole 10 a.m. thing.
Yeah,
I mean, the 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Like, he's got to go to a bigger market, man. I mean, that's the tragedy of that. Like, he should be in a bigger market. Let's see.
Well, they need to blast it out more on social.
They blast it out. They do everything they can, but the guy plays for the Angels. They're a terrible team, and he's out there.
I mean, what other choice is there? I mean, you can't start a game at 4:00.
No, I know. I'm talking about.
I
mean, I wish he could get himself out of L.A., although he likes it out there, and play for a market on the East Coast where he can get some name. You know, people could see how great he is. He's the invisible superstar of Major League Baseball. I think
he's a New Jersey boy, though, right?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so he can come play for the Mets. I wouldn't be opposed to having him here.
No, not at all. Wild pitch. Wow.
Oh, my.
Now they're gonna walk him. No, you can't walk him because you put the time run at the plate. You can't walk him. It was 0-2. It's 2-2 now. You got a pass ball. Runners moved up. It looks like a playoff game out here on an April night in Philadelphia. Our friend Ray Randazzo is calling this game. Is he doing that on radio? He's doing it on radio, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was listening to him a little bit yesterday. He was doing really good. It was great to hear Mets announcers back in action for regular season play. Yeah, it was awesome.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
Here we go. 2-2.
And like actually as I was listening to him, like I remember back to where he was saying like he would do all this research and there was a lot of just like random stats he was just throwing out. And it was it made it very engaging. So kudos to him for all the hard work.
Wow.
What?
That is a big out. That is a big out right there by the Mets and Castro.
All right.
So we'll end it on a high note.
All right. Yeah, because I don't know why I'm so delayed, but yeah,
we'll call it right there, folks.
Yeah, let's call that one. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you on Thursday night, hopefully with a couple of Mets wins in our belt, and actually after Mets opening day too.
That's right. It's Mets
Mets home opener is on Thursday afternoon. So I'm excited for that. I will not be attending this year, but I will be going to a couple of games, and
we will be there.
You and I are going to go to a couple of games.
We'll be there. Bro, you know what I can't wait to have? A hot dog, a pretzel, and a beer in a baseball game.
Yeah. I mean, just because, right?
Yeah. Just exactly.
Just because that's it. No
other
reason.
$50 for a hot dog, pretzel, and a beer.
Exactly. Yes, it's not financially sound to do it, but because you have the freedom to do it, we're gonna do it.
Exactly.
That's it. I don't care. Let's pay $20 for a beer. I mean, it is what it is.
It's what it is, man. Listen, we got to pay their salaries.
And justifies the means, right? So
that's it. All right, everybody. We'll see you Thursday
everybody.
Night.
It was a great episode. No guests, but we had a lot to talk about, and excited to have Aaron back on Thursday night. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
Peace.